So good morning friends, and welcome back to the channel where we talk about backpacking, the Southwest and beyond. And so I'm headed to hike the John Muir Trail starting this weekend. Actually headed out to California first thing in the morning tomorrow. So I'm super stoked. I feel like I've been planning and training and dreaming about this trip all year, and we're finally here. So I'm super stoked about that. Got one more day of work left and I'm hitting the road. So what I wanted to do today is make a video about what's in my pack, what I'm carrying, what my base weight is, sort of what my considerations were about what I decided to bring. And so without further ado, here is my pack. This is the Z-Packs Nero 38 liter pack, and this is the Dyneema version. And I was really glad I was actually able to fit my Bearcan inside. I had ordered a V-top strap to strap it to the top where I was going to keep my food in like a nylon bag on the inside, and then strap the empty Bearcan to the pack. And I was very glad that the Bearcan that I got was able to fit in here. So I'm actually super impressed. It's such a lightweight pack that weighs like 10.5 ounces that I can actually fit a Bearcan inside. That's wild to me. So I'm going to start on what's on the outside of the pack. First thing is my ship kit. So I use a backcountry bidet system. I use the Kulo Clean. So in this bag I've got Kulo Clean. It functions kind of like a cork, and you put it, you put it inside the bottle, and you fill the bottle up with water, and there's a little slit here. I don't know if you can see it. You just sort of squeeze and that gives you a stream. And then I'm trying not on this trip to take toilet paper because I find when you use this system there's always a little bit left from the water that you want to wipe with toilet paper, and I decided I'm not going to bring toilet paper, just enough toilet paper really to blow my nose but not really to rely on for this. So I've got some Dr. Bronner's soap and some hand sanitizer. And of course I'm a super gram weenie, so I didn't want to carry an entire bottle of those things, right? That's 3 or 4 ounces of soap and sanitizer. So I got these little droplet bottles from Six Moon Designs. They're super light. They weigh like 1/10 of an ounce, maybe give or take a couple grams. And so I just put kind of what I filled them up, and hopefully this will be enough for 2 weeks. I think it will. And in terms of this bottle is not great. I found it, it doesn't hold that much water, and it, is not the best for squeezing. It gets crinkly and stuff. So I think I'm going to replace this before I hit the trail with like a soft, smart water bottle. In general, that's just what you want for the bidet, something that's easy to squeeze. So that's one piece of gear I might change. It won't really affect my base weight too much. So the second piece of gear on the outside is this Sunbum mineral sun stick. So I'm going to be wearing a long sleeve shirt most of the time, and then actually a sun hat that covers my neck and shoulders, and I'm also pretty brown. And so I'm not super worried about sunburning. I think the only place I really get sunburnt is on my face. So I figured that carrying 3 or 4 ounces of sunscreen, for me, being mostly covered, seemed like overkill. So I went with this, little 0.4, 0.5 ounce sun stick that I think is going to be just plenty for what I need. So next is my water filtration. So I'm going to be bringing the Katadyn Be Free 1 liter. I love this, especially in pristine water situations. I think in the High Sierra, from what I hear, a lot of it is snow melt, glacier, where you could probably drink it straight. So this is really going to be perfect. I wouldn't carry this in a time where I was going to be in the desert and having sketchy water sources, but this is the lightest weight full filter system that I know of. And so I'm actually just going to be carrying 1 liter of water. So my whole water is going to be 1 liter in a bottle in this, so that say if there is a long carry, because it was a very dry winter there, that I can suddenly have a 2 liter capacity if I have one in the filter in this. No reason to even carry a second water bottle as far as I'm concerned. Okay, So now is sort of for my ditty bag, accessory bag, whatever. This has got a little bit of everything in it. It's got electronics in here. It's got, I'm not going to pull everything out, but show you some of the things. So I've got this Anker 24-watt dual charger. I'm not going to be going into town, staying in a motel, and having extended time. So when I'm charging, I'm kind of wanting it to be fast. So I'll be stopping in at Tuolumne Meadows and having the ability to charge my Anker Powercore as well as my phone or my camera at the same time, just saving time. I'm carrying the Anker Powercore 10,600 or 10,560, something like that. And so, yeah, that weighs about 12.5 ounces. This was hard. I really wanted to carry like a 10,000 watt and go a little bit lighter, but I just figured that I'm going to be shooting a lot of video, taking a lot of pictures, and I just didn't want to be worried the whole time that I was going to run out of battery. Especially for me, I have plenty of places to charge in the beginning, like at Tuolumne Meadows, Reds Meadow, and BVR, but then it's an 8-day stretch out to my car. And that's, where Whitney is, and Ray Lakes, and Kearsarge Pass, and all that. So I was finding that with a smaller bank, I was going to be worried about running out of power during the part I wanted to film the most. So I decided it was worth the wait. In terms of being a gram weenie, this cord, I really thought a lot about the cord. I wanted to bring a shorter cord to save weight, but then I tested it at my house, and I found trying to put like a short cord that only came out like this far, and then trying to charge this to it, that it was hanging, and actually it was so heavy that it was not even charging. So I'm thinking about what's my situation really going to be like when I'm charging in the field or charging on this through hike. I'm not going to have anything to like make a little platform for it to rest on. So I'm going to want to carry whatever this is, an extra gram or 2 grams to make it possible to charge my power bank. So I got some vitamin I. So I got, this bag is really sort of a mix of like first aid and electronic accessories. So I got some vitamin I, an extra lighter. I'm gonna be cold soaking on this trip, so I'm not gonna be using a lighter for a stove, and so this is specifically in case I have to start a fire in an emergency, so or an SOS or something like that. So got some loose end like batteries, and a flashlight. This is my Ultralight something. What is this? Something Ultralight titanium light, something like that. This is like 0.6 ounces flashlight. Turns on like that. So yeah, that's going to be instead of a headlamp. Going to carry that, save a lot of weight there, a couple of ounces. So this is just some odds and ends first aid stuff. I'm also carrying leukotape for blister prevention, but I'm gonna be taping it around my trekking pole, so it's actually not going in my pack and won't be a part of my base weight. I'm carrying it with my my trekking poles, but yeah, that I'm also gonna carry. It's for me, blisters are the biggest thing. I'm prone to blisters, and then so last but not least, in this outer mesh pocket are my MSR Groundhog Mini stakes. I'm carrying 7. I just need 6 to pitch my tarp, but I figure if I lose one, misplace one, I'd hate to not be able to stake it out. So I'm going to bring 1 extra, so 7 stakes should do it. There's one more thing on the outside of my pack, and that is tripod, Ultrapod. So I'm going to be using this to set up my shots. This is super lightweight, weighs like less than 2 ounces, got 3 legs that are very stable, sort of a rotating head, and then it can also be used with this Velcro to tie around a tree branch or pole, something like that, to get a good shot. So I'll have that on the outside of my pack so that if I want to get a shot, I can stop and pull my camera out of the fanny pack and just set it up right there. So that actually reminds me, I've got this light AF fanny pack here, the Featherlight or Featherweight fanny packs. And so in here is where I'll carry my camera, which my camera's not in there now. Obviously I'm filming on it right now, but in here, I'll show you, this is the lens I'm carrying. This is the Sony 10 to 18 millimeters, a super wide angle lens. So I'm shooting on a different lens right now. I'm able to actually get the lens. And so in addition to that, I've got this micro cloth that came with my ND filters, just to clean the lens, the filters, etc. And then I'm carrying actually two ND filters, which are neutral density filters, basically to help me keep my shutter speed in the right place to get cinematic footage and hopefully get some good quality video on this trip. And I really debated on this because I feel like I'm, you know, the ultralight in me hates this. I wasn't sure which ND filter to carry, whether I wanted to carry a 6 to 9 stop or a 2 to 5 stop ND filter, without getting too much into cameras and camera nerd stuff, because this is mostly a backpacking channel. Just not wanting to have something that was too dark for most of my shots, but then also not wanting to not have enough for bright light. So I figured my setup is so light that I could afford to carry another one and still be under 10 pounds. So I brought both, and I guess on this trip I'll figure out which one is really most needed if I had to choose one, and then hopefully I'll get good video and picture quality anyway. So yeah, it's everything in my fanny pack. And so I will go ahead and get into the main compartment of the pack. So the very first thing is my Montbell Versalite Gore-Tex rain jacket. This thing is great. It weighs less than 7 ounces. Size large. It's a little too big for me, but that's good. It's good for layering. And so I love this thing. Great for keeping me dry. And then when it gets a little chilly and I'm doing like bushwhacking, I will carry this, which I know is crazy because they're so thin and lightweight. You don't want to tear them, but just in terms of like, if I were to tear this or my down jacket, I would rather tear this because all I have to do is put some tenacious tape on it and it's waterproof again, versus if I tear my down jacket, I'm losing insulation. So yeah, this is my jacket for rain, cold, bushwhacking, the whole 9 yards. So the next thing in my pack is my tarp. This is the Z-Pack 7x9 flat tarp, and I've got it guyed out on 6 points. So with the guidelines, this weighs 6.2 ounces. This is an important part of my shelter. I don't plan to pitch this every night. I think actually ideally I won't have to pitch it at all because I plan to cowboy camp. But in case there's dark clouds or it looks like it's going to rain, I will set this up to make sure that I don't get wet. And so along with my shelter is my Bivysack, which is a 4-gear Cuban bivy. I love this thing. It's Dyneema on the bottom, super lightweight. It weighs like 4.5 ounces. So in total, my whole shelter setup is like 10.7 ounces, so less than 11 ounces, and I have full rain and bug protection, which bugs are a serious issue in the Sierra Nevada. From what I've been told, I would love to just carry the tarp and save these 4 ounces here, but yeah, I'm gonna be miserable. I don't think it's worth the wait to forego the bug protection. Next thing is my Bear canister. This is the Barricade Weekender. It is exorbitantly expensive. You probably don't need to buy this, but I wanted to go as light as possible. I knew I was going to carry a lot of camera gear, and I knew that I was going to have a long food carry, and this pack is only rated to about 20 pounds, so I knew I really wanted to do everything I could to keep it low, and not have to carry a bigger, bulkier pack. And so I love this. It's super light, super durable, great cottage company, and it fits into my little bitty pack, so I couldn't be happier. The only piece of gear that I'm carrying, actually, that I'm not going to show you, just because I don't feel like undoing my bear canister, because this is all set up for the trip, is my Toaks long handle spoon that weighs like 0.7 ounces, and my Talenti jar. So I'm going to be cold soaking out of a empty Talenti jar, but it's in here, and I'm not going to pull it out. So, okay, next thing. So this is actually kind of new for me. I don't usually carry a pack liner or a pack cover or anything, and so, but on this trip I was concerned that, I'm pretty sure that Dyneema is totally waterproof and that my pack's probably fine, but I'm also out there for a lot of days and possibly exposed. So I figured the 1 ounce Nyloflume pack liner was worth it to know that my shit's gonna stay dry. So I'd rather carry the extra ounce than to have to carry the fear with me in the backcountry every time clouds come out. So the first thing that's in here is my down jacket, which is the Montbell Plasma Down 1000. I love this jacket. It weighs like 4.8 ounces. It's stripped down. It has no pockets. It has no hood. But that's perfectly fine for me. This is everything I need and nothing I don't, in a very light package, and very efficient warmth-wise. So next thing are my wind pants, Copperfield wind pants from Enlightened Equipment. This is my first time carrying these. I figured that, to be comfortable around camp, it'd be nice to have something around the legs. These are the 17-year, so it only weighs like literally 1 ounce, maybe 1.05 ounces, I think, technically. So really no reason not to bring this for extra warmth outside of my sleeping bag and in the sleeping bag. So yeah. Here is my sleeping bag. I'm eventually going to do, I think, a full review of this sleeping bag. This is the Feather Friends Vireo UL sleeping bag. In my opinion, this is the best ultralight sleeping bag on the market. It's a variable fill, so it is. So it's rated to 25 degrees on the bottom and rated to 45 degrees at the top, because they figure that, when you're going on a trip, you're carrying down insulation like this jacket here. And so there's no need for redundancies in terms of down insulation. So you've got extra on the bottom to keep you warm, and then you're wearing a jacket at the top. And so I've actually used this bag without a jacket down to 38 degrees in a Bivysack. So I probably won't need to wear my jacket to sleep at all, which is really nice and freeing. And at the same time, this sleeping bag only weighs 15.4 ounces. It's filled with 1,000 filled down. So it's actually lighter than my 20-degree quilt, but it's a full sleeping bag. It's got a full back. So yeah, I'm gonna be rocking this. And so the way that I pack my pack is I put all my sleep stuff inside of my sleeping bag, because I'm not gonna be pulling it out till the end of the night. So no reason to have it out in a place where it could get wet, get moved around, etc. This is not going to be, none of the things that I need for sleeping are going to be touched until I'm laying out my bag anyway. So inside of this bag, I've got an extra pair of socks to have a pair of warm, dry socks for camp. Super important when you're wet to know that you have dry socks waiting, that you're not going to bed with wet, cold feet. And then last but not least, my pillow, which is a Sea to Summit Eros UL large. I don't know why I got a large. I think I probably could have survived with the small or the regular or whatever, but I got a big head, so this is okay. It probably cost me like 1/4 of an ounce extra, so whatever. I like my creature comforts. I think that it would be good to go without a pillow. I think that's definitely something cool to aspire to, but I do sleep on my side. So from what I understand and what I read, if you sleep on your side, it's actually really bad to not have a pillow. It'll hurt your neck. And so that's really the last thing I want, is to be out there and have a fucked up neck. So one very last thing to go over, and this is my sleeping pad, which is actually going to be riding on the back of my pack. The shock cord that comes with the pack has sort of like to give some more frame to the pack and also like manage some of the sweat. And this is a Nemo switchback, closed cell foam pad, cut in half. And so this weighs 7.5 ounces. It covers mostly just my torso, but in the summertime is perfectly fine. There's lighter ways to go. You could use an 1/8 inch foam pad. I haven't got brave enough to use that by itself on the trail, or you could use say an Ultralight. But one of the things I like about a pad like this is I don't have to worry about it getting punctured and suddenly not having a sleeping pad. And then at the same time, this makes a great seat. So instead of having to carry a seat or sit on the ground, like this is actually a luxurious thing to sit on the ground, whether you're on the bare can or whether you're on rocks, granite, or whether you're just on the bare ground. This makes a perfect seat. So this is like a triple use item, I guess: sleeping pad, seat, and like back panel. So yeah. Well, that is everything that's in my pack, everything I'm carrying for 15 days on the John Muir Trail. So my base weight without food and water is 9.9 pounds, which I could have gone lower without carrying so much camera gear, but without the camera gear, I would still be around like 7.5, 7.75 pounds. That's even including the bear can and everything. So I think that's pretty damn good. I feel pretty good about that. And we'll see. Hopefully I can use my luxury items, camera gear, to make some cool video. So thank you for watching. Something that I'm sure no other YouTuber has ever told you, that I'm going to tell you, is that on the lower right corner of this video, you can do a little customization. And for me, I put the mountains of northern New Mexico. And if you click on that button, it gives you the option to subscribe to the channel. And if you were to do that, that would give me so much dopamine. So if you feel so inclined, please do that, and help a brother out with some dopamine and some serotonin. But again, thank you for watching. And I'm looking forward to putting out some more videos of this hike. So you all have a great weekend. Happy birthday, America. Bye.